Hi, I'm Katie, a manifestation expert who's helped people all over the world attract love and manifest the greatest relationships of their lives. Each week, I share the real secrets to manifesting love and creating a better dating life, so you can finally be done with exes, ghosters, commitment phobes, and all the other lovely walking red flags, and finally manifest your person. I'll also be answering all your manifesting questions and unpacking what's hitting the headlines when it comes to dating, love, and relationships. This is That Manifesting Podcast. Welcome back to That Manifesting Podcast. I hope life is treating you very well. I'm back with all things love, dating, and manifesting. I don't know if there's something funky happening with a retrograde or something like that, but I've been hearing from a lot of single people that life has felt like a bit of a funk recently, with them feeling a bit more lonely than usual. And I do think that hits around this time of year, because there's something about the sun and couples on Instagram on holidays that can make you feel like you're the only single person left in the world. Summer was always very difficult for me because I was a single parent, so when I'd be taking my daughter out on day trips and whatever we'd be doing, I seemed to just see happy families all over the place, and it just made me feel that little stab of loneliness. Even though I was having an amazing time with my daughter, it was like a big glaring spotlight on the fact that I was a single parent. So I do get it, and I share this for a reason. Not to try and depress you on this Wednesday. I really promise I'm not doing that. It's mainly because I'm a manifesting mentor. This is what I do with my time. I help other people to manifest the love that they want, the dating life that they want, all of that good stuff. And so many people assume that because I'm the mentor and I'm the coach, they assume that I'm some happy little weirdo all the time that's got all my shit together. But that's just not real life. I too can feel the crappy emotions at times, and it's important for me to say to you that if you're feeling that, it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong, or don't beat yourself up about it. Because when I feel like that, I let myself sit in that feeling for a while. I let myself sit in the suck. I might cry, I might eat crisps for dinner, I might even spiral. And that's okay, because that's what makes us human. If anyone claims that they're happy all of the time, they're lying. And frankly, I wouldn't trust anyone who claims they are. The important thing is that I don't allow myself to live in that place. I visit it occasionally, but then I pull myself back. Now, years ago, that kind of feeling of loneliness would have had me re-downloading Tinder, matching with someone wildly inappropriate, and probably convincing myself that this was my person, only to be left brokenhearted 2 weeks later when they tell me they're not looking for anything serious. But I learned that after many, many times, that sitting in the suck of loneliness for a while is absolutely normal and absolutely okay. But what isn't okay is to just settle for someone who really isn't right, just to avoid those pangs of loneliness. And that brings me to the topic of today's episode. In today's Real Talk segment, I'll be talking about something that so many of us have done, which is falling for the potential of someone rather than the actual person in front of us. So later in the episode, I'm going to be breaking down why this happens. Feels like a bit of a somber way to start the episode, but I have had so many messages about this. I felt it was important to just shine a bit of a spotlight on it. So, we can go back to talking about idiots on dating apps or whatever. We can do that in another episode, but I just wanted to let you know that if you're feeling that way, you're feeling lonely, I get it, it's okay, just don't stay there forever. Okay, let's get into your messages. This week's question comes from Tanya, who DM'd me and said, Katie, Does it throw your manifesting off course if you have a one-night stand? I really want a relationship, but I also enjoy having some fun. Is that bad vibe energy? First of all, Tanya, thank you for this, because I think so many people wonder about this but feel awkward asking it. Now, let's be really clear. Having sex does not throw off your manifestations. Pleasure is not the enemy. It's not a test. The universe isn't marking you down with a red pen like, ooh, Tanya had sex, no soulmate for her this week. But what can affect your manifestation is the energy that you're holding around it. If you're having a one-night stand from an empowered place, like you fancy them, you feel good in your body, you're not attaching any false expectations to it, then crack on, literally crack on. But if you're sleeping with someone, hoping that it will make them like you more, or you're using sex as a way to fill an emotional gap, or because you feel lonely and you just want someone to see you, that's when it starts to mess with your alignment, because your energy in that moment is coming from lack, from scarcity, from needing love to show up right now to soothe something in you. So no, sex is not the problem. The energy behind it is what determines whether it's going to negatively impact your manifesting. And you, my love, are allowed to want a relationship and enjoy your body. Just keep checking in with which version of you is running the show at that moment. Is it the empowered queen who wants to have glorious sex, or is it an anxious attachment gremlin? I hope that helps, Tanya. If you have a message or a question, you can text into the show, the link's in the show notes, or you can DM me on Instagram. My name on Instagram is The Manifesting Mindset. So now let's get into love and dating in the wild. As a love and dating podcast, at some point this was going to come up. I'm talking about Love is Blind. Oh my God, I watch it religiously. I'm not always proud of it, but I'm also absolutely not going to stop watching it, because there's something weirdly addictive about watching two strangers fall madly in love through a wall, decide they're going to get married, and then realise on their pre-wedding moon that they actually hate how each other choose. Now, I love the idea of falling in love for someone's soul, not their face, in theory. But personally, I could never do that, because I need that thing. You know, that feeling when you see someone across the room and your entire body lights up like a slot machine. I need that spark, that heat. And no matter how much deep chat we've had, if I meet you and there's zero physical pull, then I'm sorry, but we're not soulmates. You're just a nice voice. So how the hell do these people fall in love without ever seeing each other? That's what I want to know. Well, if you're also wanting to know, I did a bit of research and there is a bit of science behind it. Apparently, when you strip away the distractions like looks, body language, social media creeping, you're left with emotional bits and bobs, vulnerability, honesty, saying things you wouldn't normally say on a second date because you're too busy pretending to not look like a total dick when you eat in front of them. And it does work, because humans are wired for connection, especially when we're in emotionally intense situations like being locked in a pod with no phone and nothing else to do. In that environment, people open up and they share secrets and they get deep really fast. And that kind of emotional intimacy, it does feel powerful. But I don't think that chemistry in that sort of a vacuum is the same as chemistry in real life. Because eventually you do meet face to face. And then suddenly it's not just about your hopes and dreams anymore. It's about how they kiss or whether you like the way they smell. Suddenly you can put a face and actions and gestures to the voice. And look, I'm not saying looks at everything, But chemistry, yeah, that matters. Touch matters, energy matters, sexual attraction matters. So while Love is Blind makes for amazing TV, for me it's also a bit of a fantasy. Like, for some people it works. I mean, there are some couples who are still together. But for me, call me shallow, but I want the soul connection and the physical stuff, the deep chats and the filthy, flirty eye contact. So yeah, love might be blind, but my vagina definitely isn't. Okay, on that note, let's get into Ick of the Week. Oh, it's been another great week for Ick of the Week. Thank you to everyone who got in touch. And again, I've been able to pull out a theme, and the theme for this week's icks are first dates. Okay, I love these. Liv from Manchester said, he asked me to split the bill after ordering 2 starters, steak and 2 desserts. How bloody rude. Liv, I hope you stood up and walked out. I do like it when the man pays for the first date. I know that's really old fashioned, don't shoot me. I do think that that's nice, but I'm not unwilling to split the bill. But it has to be fair. Like, if he sat there and got absolutely pissed on beers and whatever, and I've drank a Coke, I wouldn't expect to split the bill on that. So, yeah, I think that's a bit rubbish, Liv. I hope you didn't pay the bill. I hope you ran away. Tasha from Brighton says, he spent the entire date slagging off his ex and then accidentally called me her name. Oh my God. Oh my God, I don't know what I would have done. I think I may have, I don't know. Tasha, I need to know what you did. Please text back in and let me know how you handled that situation, because I think, again, I would have just walked out. You can spot a theme here with my dating history. Yeah, I don't think I could have sat there. I have been on a date when somebody was slagging off his ex the whole time. And the way I handled that is I asked him at one point if he wanted to call her so she could join in the conversation, because it felt like she was on the date with us. That stopped him in his tracks. But obviously I didn't see him again. But yeah, that's really bad, Tasha. Accidentally calling you her name. Yuck. B from Glasgow texted in and said he turned up in Crocs with socks. Oh no. I am a Croc hater. I don't like them on man, woman or child. If you wear Crocs, I feel like there's something wrong with you. I think they're ugly, I think they're gross, and they're certainly not comfortable. So B, I'm with you. That is indeed a massive ick. The next one is from Anonymous, and they said, he told me on the first date that he doesn't believe in labels, then asked if I'd be open to a 0-hour relationship. I asked what he meant, and he said, same as the job version, no commitment. Oh, the nerve. Oh, I don't think, oh my God. Is that for real? I can't believe that someone actually said that. I mean, I've got to give him kudos because it's quite a clever line, but absolutely gross. Yuck. Ick. Approved. Ick approved. Okay, final one is from Chloe in Leeds, and Chloe said, he made me watch his music video on YouTube, then asked for feedback. It was hideous, by the way. Oh, Chloe, I hope you told him it was hideous. What a weirdo. I mean, at times I think, why are so many people single? Like, there's so much opportunity out there. And then I read these stories and I think, actually, I know damn well why there's so many single people. I think people have just forgotten how to properly interact, how to be decent on dates. What is dating etiquette? I mean, come on now, please stop it. But actually don't, because then I wouldn't have an ick segment anymore. So, swings and roundabouts. If you've got any icks, send them in to me, please, because I love them so much. And this is now getting bigger and bigger each week. So do send me your icks. Okay, now it's time for us to get into it. It's time for real talk and why you keep falling for the nearly guys. We're going to talk about why you keep falling for people who are almost right. You know the type. They've got just enough good stuff to keep you hopeful, but something always feels off, or they always do something to hurt you. Either they're not fully choosing you, or they're not showing up consistently, or they talk about healing and growth, but they haven't actually done anything. And yet you're still there, still waiting, still holding on to the version of them that lives in your head. And this might be some hard truths for some people to hear, but you're not dating a man. You're dating a PowerPoint presentation of who he could be if he just did the work, if he read the books, if he went to therapy, if he stopped ghosting, if he started texting back, if he healed his ex-trauma, yada, yada, yada. Letting these guys in means you're manifesting from a place of potential, and the universe doesn't respond to what you hope someone could become in the future. It responds to what you're actually available for. Now, let's go a little bit deeper, because this isn't just about them being unavailable. It's about why you keep choosing people who are. And this is a pattern most people don't realise that they're stuck in, because you're not just falling for their potential, you're also trying to earn their love. Somewhere along the lines, your brain got the idea that love is something you work for. That if you just try hard enough, be patient enough, understanding enough, cool girl enough, then maybe you'll finally be chosen. And this happened to me. This is why I know this so well. And it stemmed from my childhood. Yes, I do indeed have daddy issues. I had a long childhood of not feeling good enough for my dad, and he never chose me. And that led to a horrible dating life, horrible relationships, because without me realising it, I was going into every single one subconsciously thinking, if I can just show him how amazing I am, he'll step up. But then when they didn't, I didn't walk away. I just tried even harder. And people that do this start playing emotional Jenga, shifting boundaries, ignoring your gut, downplaying your needs, trying to keep the whole unstable tower of this non-relationship from falling over. And let's be honest, it's not even them that you're really chasing. It's the feeling of finally being chosen by someone who initially didn't choose you. That's the high. That's the validation hit. But you're not here to be picked like a pair of shoes. You're here to choose yourself so fully that misaligned love loses all its shine. So if you're in a cycle of dating people with potential, pause and ask yourself, am I actually into this person, or am I just hooked on proving that I'm worthy of being chosen? If it's the second one, that's not love. That's your old wound trying to win. So here are some signs that you could be falling for potential rather than reality, the nearly guy. Number 1, their words are amazing, but their actions are shit. So he says he wants a deep connection, but he's never available at the weekend. He tells you that you're amazing, but has never asked a single question about your life. He says he wants something serious, but he's still figuring things out with his ex. The rule of thumb here is if the words and the actions don't match, trust the actions. Words are free. Action takes effort. If he's not backing up his words with action, he's just banking on you seeing the potential and sticking around anyway to soothe his ego and make him feel good. So the second sign that you could be falling for potential rather than reality is that you keep making excuses for them. You might have found yourself saying things like, he's just been really busy lately, or he's not great at texting, but he's so sweet in person, or he's got a lot going on mentally right now, I just don't want to pressure him. No, stop. You're not his therapist, his emotional crutch. If you're constantly explaining away behaviour that hurts or confuses you, you're dating the idea of him, not the reality. And the third sign that you are falling for the nearly guy is you're in a situationship, not a relationship, but you're hoping it will become more. And this is a big one. If you're investing more than they are, hoping that they'll catch up once they see how amazing you are, you're building your love life on potential, and that is just not real. Now you might be thinking, but I'm focused on manifesting the love of my life. Maybe this is who the universe thinks is right for me, or they wouldn't have appeared. But I'm afraid that's not how it works. The universe isn't going, oh, she's journaling about a healthy, secure relationship, send one over. It's responding to what you're energetically available for, what you're entertaining, tolerating, and engaging with right now. So if you say, I want someone emotionally available, but you're texting someone who disappears for 3 days and then comes back like nothing happened, the universe is going to say, okay, she's still in the vibe of wishy-washy weirdos. Send in the next one that does the same thing. That is what you're energetically matched for. You're asking for love from one frequency, but you're living on another. Therefore, you have an energetic mismatch. Energetic boundaries are how you close that gap. It's recognizing that something isn't aligned and you trust that something better will take its place once you let go of it. Because the space you clear when you stop entertaining emotionally unavailable people, that's sacred, because that's the space where real love can drop in. And if you're scared of that space, if you're rushing to fill it with the next shiny distraction, that's a sign that you're manifesting from fear and not self-worth. So here's the challenge. Don't just say you want better, live like you do. Don't just wait for aligned love, be the version of you who's already living it. Because when your standards shift, your energy shifts, and that's when the universe will get the message. So my advice, take off the rose-tinted glasses and look at the nearly guy like a stranger would. If someone just read out a list of this person's actions and behaviours to you, and you didn't know him yet, the emotional flakiness, the lack of effort, the breadcrumbing, would you say, yes, that is the love of my life? No. You'd more likely say, I'd rather jab myself in the eye with a rusty spoon than date him. So why are you making him the exception? Why are you giving loyalty to someone who can't even give you any clarity? The truth is, when you're manifesting love, your actions are part of your vibration. If you keep entertaining people who are emotionally unavailable, inconsistent, or flat out unaligned, the universe thinks, oh, okay, this is her standard. Send in another one exactly the same. And I get it. Sometimes it feels like love. The spark is there. The chemistry is hot. The sex is, well, great-ish until you're crying in his toilet at 1 a.m. because he won't call you his girlfriend. But you're not in love. You're in fantasy. You're seeing the potential, not the reality. And the thing is, that fantasy version of them, the one who texts you every morning, introduces you to his mates, plans weekends away, and actually communicates, that version doesn't exist except in your thoughts. And you cannot change someone else and the way they show up in the world with your thoughts. You deserve better than someone like that. You deserve someone who's already what you're looking for, not someone who might be if they could just stop being emotionally constipated. The version of love that you want exists. If you listen to the last episode, you'll know that I talked about the different channels. You're trying to force somebody to live in a movie of your love life that they're not meant to be in. But there is somebody who is meant to be in that. If you're constantly attracting people who are almost it, the nearly guys, then you need to check your own energy, because part of you is still settling, still believing that real love is rare, or that you have to wait or fix someone in order to be chosen by them. And that's just not true. When you stop entertaining and settling for potential, that's when the universe stops sending it and actually resorts to sending you something real. I hope that helped. That's it for this week. Until next time, sending you lots of love, light, and manifesting vibes.